All right, well, we are here with Geoff Cameron this afternoon to talk to him a little bit about the upcoming playoff run with the Houston Dynamo. They made the playoffs this year after unfortunately missing out on them last year, so the guys are pumped, and we want to get a couple of insights from Geoff as to what to expect from the team going into Sunday's first competition against Philadelphia. So, Geoff, first off, congrats. Glad you guys made it. Exciting news once that popped up.
Thanks, man. It was obviously a long run at the beginning of the season. I had some good results, and then we struggled for a bit. But now we find our form towards the end of the season. 6 or 7 games unbeaten. Had 2 key victories on the road against Dallas and Portland, and then a win against LA home, our last home game, to solidify a playoff berth, and we finished in second place. So it's good. We got home field advantage. So now we're heading to Philadelphia this weekend for a game Sunday on ESPN2. And then we got a home game against Philly for the second leg Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening.
Now, speaking of second leg, for people who don't know, can you explain a little bit the playoff format? Because you're going to play one game Sunday, then that second game Thursday. How do you decide who advances on to the next round?
Yeah, it's basically it comes down to I think goal differential and whatnot, and the first leg we're going to go in the frame of mind we want to get 3 points. We want to get a win, score a few goals, and bring it back home and get another win. So the easiest thing to do is win both games, and you're automatically through. But if even another good result is getting a tie as well. So especially coming back home and playing in front of your home crowd, and you get that adrenaline going, and you feed off of them a little bit more, makes it easier for you to play for a win at home. But saying that, it's tough with the goal differential, goals forward, goals against. So it's kind of complicated, but it's pretty understandable if you look at it.
Sure. So it comes down to total goals scored is kind of what matters most between the two teams. Okay, great. Now, speaking too about being able to come home, play that second game against Philadelphia here with the Houston crowd behind you, what's the difference between the playoff atmosphere and the regular season atmosphere?
Well, on a regular, we get average about 18 to 20,000 fans per game, but with a playoff game, usually they're sold out. So for instance, the LA Galaxy coming in with obviously the expectation of Beckham and Landon playing, it was completely sold out. So. But saying that, it was a playoff game because it was kind of a must-win game. But the fact that we're playing at home and it's a playoff game, more fans are going to be coming out. It's a Thursday night, so I'm sure it's going to be sold out. We're hoping it's going to be sold out. Get everybody out here to support us. And when you have a crowd like that, us as players, we feed off of that. When they're screaming and jumping up and down, yelling for you, just cheering you on, it's a good thing because. When you're down in a game or something like that, you kind of feed off that energy to get back into it.
Great. Now, obviously, you didn't have a chance to win an MLS Cup yet with the Dynamo, although they do have 2 to their names. There are some veterans on the team with MLS Cup championships. What kind of advice have they given you guys going into this playoff series to try to advance?
There's the coaches won a couple. Some of these guys have 4 or 5 rings, MLS Cup championship rings. So. They have the experience, and they've said all along, you have to go into every game, every minute, every play, knowing not to lose. So you go into a tackle, the idea of not losing that tackle, just the willingness to win everything, and making sure you're doing everything proper, where there's no mental lapses, no mental mistakes. You're on point every single time. And that's a big thing for guys, supporting one another. If there's a guy that makes a mistake, you're there to cover for him. So as a team, you're unified, you're working together as one, and that's the biggest thing. The support on and off the field is a key thing as well.
Sure. Now, last question, kind of game strategy. Sebastian Letou, pretty big opponent over there in Philadelphia. A lot of talk about how you guys are going to contain him. Is there any sort of strategy that the Dynamo are going to use?
Yeah, he's found his form. He's been a pretty good leader of the Philadelphia Union all year, and he's finally found his form. He's scoring goals and whatnot. So we just got to deny him, and you just got to be aware of him at all times where he's on the field. He's quick, he's fast, he's got a great touch, and he's a smart player. So you have to be aware of that. And just know where he's at all times. You can't be daydreaming and whatnot and just focusing on the ball. You have to know where he's at, especially he makes those cheeky runs in behind and whatnot too. A lot of communication on the field with one another, talking to players and letting them know this guy's coming here, this guy's going there, we got a step drop. Little things like that is going to help the game, help our game, and make sure that we contain him and not let him do what he does best, and that's score goals.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time, and everybody be sure to check out Geoff and the rest of the Dynamo Thursday night on ESPN2. Sorry, Sunday night on ESPN2 as they take on the Philadelphia Union.
Thanks, my man.